If you're thinking about planting trees in your landscape, but you aren't sure which trees are best, we have some help. Here with the Dirt on Tree Planting, U of I Extension's Ryan Penkow. He's the horticulture educator there and always is just chock full of useful knowledge for stuff that grows in the ground. And Ryan, how you doing?
Oh, good. And trees, I think, are my favorite topic of stuff that's grown in the ground. So, yeah, thanks for having me on.
And I've got to say, with the plaid shirt and you're growing the beard out, you're looking the part.
Well, thank you.
So we're talking trees that are commonly planted by people in our area, but maybe shouldn't be. Explain.
Yeah, sure. And a couple of tree species that I've seen planted so many times over the years, and I just know for most homeowners, it usually ends in disappointment with both of these tree species. So the first of those is Callery pear, which a lot of us might actually know as Bradford pear, which is actually a species that came to us from Asia. It's been planted in the U.S. since the early 1900s and really has a great ornamental value. It's an awesome looking tree. It flowers for about a month in the spring, has beautiful dark green leaves during the rest of the season, and also really great fall color. But we found over the years, it just has a lot of problems, even structurally with the tree. It's very prone to wind breakage. So a lot of times the canopy will just kind of split in half in a windstorm, and then you don't have a very attractive tree. Sometimes it even, can kill or damage the tree enough it has to be removed in that split. Secondly, as you guys see there on our little bullet points, it's invasive. It's become invasive in this country. The original, version of Callery pear, Bradford pear, that was developed was sterile. It couldn't self-pollinate. Well, as the horticulture industry has worked to get some different varieties that are a little more stable in windstorms, and so a lot of different varieties of Callery pear have came out, and lo and behold, they've become fertile. Where now little pears start to grow in natural areas and become a problem for our native plants. So to this day, it's still sold, it's still planted a lot of places, and like I said, it's just one of those trees I know ends in disappointment for a lot of folks. And now that it's become invasive in the last couple of decades, really one that we need to mark off our list of things to plant.
So if you like the look, are there some options that could be similar that we might want to plant instead?
Oh, certainly. I can name quite a few. Another non-native that's really pretty are the magnolias, star and saucer magnolias you see listed there. Washington hawthorn is another one that has really pretty flowers about the same time of year, and then has also berries in the winter time that and then redbud and dogwood, two of our great native trees. Redbud's just one of my favorites, both of which would have that nice spring flowering display. So, yeah, those are some great alternatives.
You have another one on your list that we shouldn't plant that we'll get to here quickly, the Colorado blue spruce. What's wrong with that one?
Well, blue spruce is actually native to this continent, but Colorado, So it's used to really well-drained soils and much cooler climate, less humidity, and you plant it in Illinois, and it just doesn't do well in the long run. Now, that's not to say there isn't a blue spruce out there that looks good for the first 5 or 10 years, sometimes 20. But I get a lot of calls with folks that have a diseased or sick blue spruce. There's just a couple different needle casts it gets, a trunk canker, spruce spider mites can be an issue. There's an insect problem. And then there's a lot of problems with our soils that cause issues with this plant.
So what should we do instead?
There's a lot of great options instead. One of my favorites from the natives that we have is white pine. Bald cypress is an interesting and unique native that actually loses its needles, so it's a deciduous tree, has a beautiful fall display. Eastern red cedar is a native tree that is just tough as nails, so if you've had a tough site where your blue spruce didn't make it, Eastern red cedar is a good alternative. And finally, concolor fir is a non-native, but is probably the closest we can get to matching the really pretty blue-colored needles that a Colorado blue spruce has, which is kind of unique and really is its biggest ornamental features. So if you're interested in just a replacement that looks as close as possible, I recommend concolor fir as that replacement.
Helpful as always and fascinating stuff. Appreciate it, Ryan, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, man. We'll get you all the details that he just gave you on our website so you can start planting the trees that are supposed to be grown here at your place. Just go to ciLiving.tv.